everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything.
Good morning, Firmly Rooted family. Pastor Tom, Firmly Rooted Ministries, and for the first time, talking to you from the new office. Is Dr. Colleen on board? All I have to do is do this, and I can see your office. Ha ha ha. Pastor's watching. Oh my goodness. Hey, by the way, when we said all hands on deck yesterday to help us get things moved, oh man, I'm so proud of all of you. Man, we had everybody moving stuff into vehicles and cars and trucks and everything. And I just can't thank you all enough for what you've done to help this move. We still have some more things to do this week, but we're hoping to get everything out of that space. Now the office, I think everything's out of the worship space. So now we need to get some things out of the office. We're hoping to do that Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm trying to hook up with Glenn and Aaron to see when they're going to disconnect some of the network stuff and whatnot. So, any rate, just thank you, and don't forget, all week long, who can you invite? How can you share it on Facebook? How can you get the word out that for the first time in 12 years, we're going to be worshiping in a sanctuary and that we are excited about it. And we would love to have some people come and celebrate with us. It's the whole month of gratitude is what we do every November. And so we're going to hit it on November 3rd. And so I hope you're excited. I hope that you are just like geeked about all of this. And we're excited. Even this week, I'm hoping that we're going to have some of our events like the men's group on Thursday here. And then by next week, everything is here. All the Bible studies, the grief share, men's group, anything that's happening. We're going to be doing it here in the new building. And so we're just really, really, really excited. And so get the word out. And a reminder that it's time to set your clocks back an hour on Saturday night. And also that our worship service is going to be at 9 and the Bible study is going to be after. So we're switching how that's done. So, all right, let's say hi to a few people and get to our devotion. Besides me, I saw Chuck B. Good morning, family. There's Dr. Colleen. I know she's shuddering right now. Pastor Tom's too close to my office. Jody Glenn, good morning. I'm out there on X. My sister Trish, good morning. Connie Sandbrink down at Firmly Rooted Greendale. Brian Flaming, good morning. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Karen, there she is. Good morning. Dr. Colleen's laughing her head off. But maybe being this close, I'll finally take care of myself and get over there and get adjustments and get my supplements. I am the worst patient. Olivia Thompson, good morning. Shane. Good morning, Tom. So excited for this Sunday. So happy for this ministry. Boom. Thank you, Shane. Thank you. Karen Thompson, good morning. Emily Connolly, good morning. Man, we got some people on board. All right, we're going to pull up Hebrews 11. And we're in that section. There we go. We're in this section where the writer of Hebrews is talking about, goes all the way back to Abraham, actually Enoch, and goes back to Moses and Abraham, and now he's going to talk about Sarah. He's going through Old Testament history and telling us about how these people, over time, learned to walk by faith rather than sight. Do you understand why it is that we have to become disciples? Being a Christian is a one-time moment born again thing. Become a disciple is what takes place through your whole life, and it never gets perfected. And it's exactly why the writer of Hebrews is talking about all these saints. They had to develop their faith just like us. They had to grow in their faith just like us. They were disciples. They finally let go of control. They finally said God can do anything he wants to do. They believed it with all their hearts. Abraham and Sarah have a baby that they should never have had, and all of it happens. And even though all those amazing things are happening, sometimes some of the things promised, the person really never saw. Abraham never owned the promised land, although it was going to be for him and his descendants. He lived there, but he never owned it. He only saw 2 sons being born. You know what I mean? That not countless as the sand on the seashore. So sometimes God's promises to us are promises indeed, but may be fulfilled at latter parts of our lives or even in the future. An example, do you think that just maybe at 64 years old, that some of the visions and dreams that I have about Firmly Rooted, that I might not see them, but they're going to happen anyways because God's faithful. And that there's going to be a generation that comes after me that is going to powerfully move the ministry in areas that I kind of have seen already. We learn to walk by faith. So here we are, verse 11, and I think we're going to go to 22. So let's get rolling. Do I have it right? Hebrews 11. What is my devotion? 14 to 22. Okay. So 14, there it is. For people who speak thus, make it clear that they are seeking a homeland, not the kingdom of this world, a heavenly one. If they had been thinking of the land from which they had gone out, they would have opportunity to return. But as it is, they desire a better country, that is a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared them a city. What did Jesus say? Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. I've gone to prepare a place for you. Verse 17, by faith, Abraham, when he was tested, offered up Isaac, and he who had received the promises was in the act of offering up his only son, of whom it was said, through Isaac shall your offering be named, right? It is the most harsh and almost mind-splitting faith journey. The son that is promised to be the one that's going to bring all the other promises is being said to be sacrificed. Verse 19, he, Abraham, listen, considered that God was able even to raise him from the dead, from which, figuratively speaking, he did receive him back. By faith, Isaac invoked future blessings on Jacob and Esau. By faith, Jacob, when dying, blessed each of his sons, of the sons of Joseph, bowing in worship over the head of his staff. By faith, Joseph, at the end of his life, made mention of the exodus of the Israelites and gave directions concerning his bones. Let's go back. Verse 19. Abraham considered that God was even able to raise him from the dead. What does that mean? What kind of faith did Abraham have that the writer of Hebrews whole sermons and Bible studies can be taught on that one event where God says, sacrifice your son. And I noticed that he doesn't tell his wife. He doesn't tell his wife. This is his journey. And he takes some servants with him, but then he leaves the servants at the bottom of the mountain while he takes his son up. And the son asks, like, where's the animal? And dad says, well, kind of, you're it. And God's has me sacrificing you. And I don't understand what he's doing, but son, trust me. Even if I plunge this knife into you, the God of the universe is going to have to resurrect you from the dead because you're the one. Wow. There were no verses that talked about the resurrection. I mean, I guess there were verses about eternal life, but whew. Thank goodness we're not tempted that harshly, huh? But what about a God who will never, ever break his promise, and he will do a miracle upon a miracle to make a promise fulfilled? Is that incredible? Is that incredible? All right. Well, I'm in the new office. I'm glad you're not here looking at the office because there's stuff everywhere. I can barely walk around, but we're going to try to clean some of that up today, get this office ready so that you can come visit and see it. I think that's it. Just a reminder, challenge every day this week. Who can you invite? Who can you text? How can you share on Facebook about our move? How excited you are. First time in 12 years, we've worshiped in a sanctuary, and we are God is doing some powerful things, and we are looking forward to riding the wave of his grace and the wave of his power. And I'm hoping a wave of revival where we get to see people come to Jesus and have their fears and their anxieties and their doubts and all of them disappear. All right. I think that's it. All right, everybody. Blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.